Hey honey, today we're making this delicious potato bake that's so juicy, so creamy, and most of all it's simple to make with the ingredients that you probably already have. Stay tuned. I started by browning my minced beef. Most of the time, minced beef has a lot of fat, and the mistake you don't want to make is add oil, whereas you don't need any at all, hence will make a bath of oil. After the meat was browned, I continued to add my chopped red onions, a spoonful of some garlic and ginger paste, and a chopped chili, which is optional. Saute that for about 2 minutes. I added some chopped fresh tomatoes. You can also opt to use some canned chopped tomatoes. It's all up to you, honey. I added a depth of flavor with some Worcestershire sauce and a half a cup of tomato sauce. You can also use some tomato puree if you have that at hand. To reduce the acidity of all the tomato ingredients, I added a couple of tablespoons of sugar just to cut off that acidity. Once everything starts to simmer, I covered with my lid and let that simmer for about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I then added my seasoning spice. You can add any seasoning spice of your choice. I used their legacy sprinkle. It's so delicious. I then cover and let that cook for a further 10 to 15 minutes until the mince is nice and tender. After it's done, I finish with a dollop of butter, put back the lid and switch off the stove to finish with the residue heat. For the potatoes, I added 7 whole potatoes in a pot and covered that with water and seasoned generously with some salt, and I let that boil until tender. If you're feeling like you want to peel the potatoes, go ahead and do that, honey, but sometimes you just want to do it the lazy way, and I find that this works perfectly. Once the potatoes are done, I drained them and put them in a baking dish and smashed them. This was the most satisfying part about this recipe besides having that first taste. After all the potatoes are crushed, I will continue to crush the ones in the middle so that they create a raised border on the sides of the baking pan. So we create a well or sort of a pocket where we're going to place the filling. I'm making a cheat white sauce by mixing together some fresh cream, some cream cheese, and mayonnaise. I season that with some aromat and a little bit of black pepper, and I'm going to whisk that until nice and creamy. The combination of the fresh cream and the cream cheese is going to bake this beautiful, thick, silky white sauce that you dream of. I gave it a taste to see if I needed to adjust any seasoning, and it was perfect. Once everything was prepped and ready, that's when I started to fill the potatoes with that delicious ground beef. You can fill those potatoes however much you like with the minced beef, but I reserve some for later use the next day, and you can just go ahead and make something delicious the next day. My other favorite part just has to be the layering of this white sauce because it is so beautifully thick, creamy, silky, and the best of all is that we didn't even have to cook it. We didn't use any flour. It is the best. I then finished off with my grated cheese. I used a mixture of some regular cheddar cheese and some white cheddar cheese. You can use absolutely any cheese that you like. Mozzarella, go for it. Gouda, go for it, honey. You can absolutely add any kind of cheese you want or make it a triple cheese, 4 times the cheese, honey. I garnish with some fresh parsley for added flavor, and I'm going to bake in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 25 to 30 minutes, or until your cheese is nicely melted with spots of browning to your liking, honey. And when it comes out of the oven, it's time to indulge. I absolutely love the way that I made this with the whole potato because the potato retains its fluffiness. This recipe is delicious, so I hope you give it a try. My name is Tato, and I hope to see you on the next one.